Chapter 4. The Fault. A week had passed since Olympus Mons erupted. In Korabana, silence replaced the city's usual bustle, its once lively avenues now blanketed beneath a mantle of ash. The western quarter lay in ruins, devastated by the volcano's discharge, though workers laboured day by day to clear the main roads and comb through every dwelling in hopes of finding anyone who might still be trapped. At the heart of Korabana rose a central courtyard, gracefully encircling a megalithic structure. Its meticulous craftsmanship stood in stark contrast to the simpler Amazonian abodes lining the outer streets. Within this edifice, Ares and an Atlantean general convened with the Amazonian elders, Taxawa in the local tongue, to assess the previous week's catastrophe. Quan, among the elders, watched over the meeting from a seat of quiet authority. "Again we thank you," one elder began, their voice echoing in the hushed hall. "Your assistance spared Korabana from near-total destruction by Olympus Mons." Ares and his companion took their seats. Between them sat Aetheros, Prince of Atlantis, and an Atlantean general, who offered a swift bow. "Think nothing of it, Taxawa," Aetheros said. "Atlantis has ever been Amazonia's ally. We're simply relieved more lives were not lost." An elder offered a nod. "Your father, Emperor Poseidon, has guided you well." Aetheros accepted the praise with polite reserve. He regrets his absence, yet was urgently called to Sumer by the Nin. "Amazonia has also responded, I take it?" The elders exchanged solemn glances. "Indeed we have, though it leaves us short-handed in dealing with the aftermath. Korabana's plight remains a local concern, yet no less significant to our people." From his seat, Ares sensed the brittle tension between Aetheros and the Taxawa. Emperor Poseidon's reign had done Atlantis few favours, with decades of economic decline tarnishing its ancient prestige. Though Ares knew the general from their boyhood, he kept his thoughts guarded. His role here was to serve as a stable presence on behalf of the Brotherhood of the Serpent, and if needed, to mend rifts between old allies. A Taxawa drew out a scroll. "Olympus Mons wrought ruin enough. 72 structures are beyond salvaging. Around 30% of our city. Clean-up has begun. However, progress is slow. 780 citizens remain missing or presumed dead. A fifth of Korabana's entire populace." Aetheros inclined his head. The numbers could have been so much worse. Indeed, the Etherstone conductor worked to an extent. "Might we request your engineers share this technology so that we can safeguard ourselves in the future?" Was the conductor Atlantean or Egyptian by design? Glancing at his companion, Aetheros allowed Ares to speak. Ares straightened in his chair. "Brotherhood engineers designed it, but its components were manufactured with Atlantean materials. Yes, we can provide the schematics. As an Assembly of Eternal Nations member, Amazonia is entitled to such knowledge under our shared treaty." Aetheros seemed cautious, aware that his father might prefer leveraging Atlantean technology for political gain. Still, he nodded. "We will comply. My men remain for 2 weeks to aid in the clean-up. Then we sail for Atlantis on Emperor Poseidon's command." "We are grateful," said another Taxawa softly. "The city's restoration can proceed with Atlantean help." As the discussion turned to trivial politics and formalities, Ares felt his attention drifting. He'd never cared for courtly ceremony or political manoeuvres. His fascination lay in archaeology and geology, passions that had led him to join the Brotherhood. Even now, he found himself preoccupied by a single mystery: the giant crack torn through the earth by Olympus Mons' final eruption. He'd seen it from the mountain summit, a phenomenon so abrupt and colossal that it haunted his dreams. "The canyon," he said, cutting gently into the lull. "The new fault line formed by Olympus Mons. Has anyone investigated it yet?" A flicker of curiosity lit Quan's eyes. One Taxawa responded, "We've not dispatched investigators. Our attention is fixed on Korabana's recovery as well as the floating farms nearby. Ares weighed his words. I remain here for another fortnight with the Atlantean detachment. I'd like to gather a small party to explore that canyon. It could yield valuable geological insights. Quan nodded. I volunteer. I've guided explorers through Amazonia's hinterlands for years. The Taxawa conferred in low tones before one rose to speak. We can spare no labour, but if the two of you wish to go, we'll not stop you. Aetheros lifted a brow. Count me in as well. My soldiers can manage the clean-up in my absence, and I'd relish seeing what intrigues a geologist of Ares' calibre. One by one the elders stood, and they exchanged parting courtesies. Concealing his excitement, Ares envisioned the hidden marvels that might lie at the fault line. He, Aetheros, and Quan emerged from the building into a street lined with heaps of ash. Teams of workers shoveled the mounds into wagons, determined to restore Korobana's once vibrant character. A haze lingered overhead, as though the sky still bore the volcano's scars. Aetheros attempted to lighten the sombre air. An Egyptian Brotherhood envoy, an Atlantean general, and an Amazonian explorer walk into the jungle. It sounds like a poor joke. Quan only half smiled. If so, let's hope the punchline is less tragic than the past week. Ares contemplated both their remarks, yet remained silent. He had survived Olympus Mons once. Perhaps they might glean something more valuable than smouldering ashes this time. They set off, leaving Korobana's smoking ruins behind. The grand silhouette of Olympus Mons loomed again, blackening the horizon. Farmsteads on its slopes stood battered, a grim testament to nature's fury. The sun fell behind the peak, casting a stark line of darkness across the farmland below. As they trekked into the rainforest, the men passed the famed floating farms of Amazonia. Thousands of barges laden with fertile soil bobbed gently in the swampy outskirts of Korobana. The lush humidity enveloped them like a living cloak, the air filled with the scent of earth and green vitality, despite the destruction behind them. Workers had returned to them, attempting to mitigate the damage inflicted upon the crops. Most outsiders think this region is an unbroken forest, Quan remarked, gesturing at rows of barge-based crops. In truth, it's meticulously curated land. Our ancestors moulded the landscape for sustenance and harmony. Ares nodded, recalling prior studies that spoke of Amazonia as one of civilization's greatest agricultural marvels. To see it firsthand is humbling, he said softly. Soon they reached the fault line, where a raw, jagged canyon split the terrain. It extended for countless kilometers, a wound in the earth's surface. Ares' heart pounded with a geologist's thrill. For him, the layers of exposed soil told a tale of millennia, the striations hinting at the secrets they stored from lost ages. The conductor forced one flank of the volcano dormant, Ares explained, kneeling to inspect newly fractured rock. That suppressed energy had to go somewhere, so it tore open the opposite side. Twice the normal volcanic force, by my guess. Quan exhaled through parted lips. So the cataclysm was half natural, half man-made. Aetheros gave a soft hum of admiration. Either way, I'd say it's changed the local geography forever. Carefully, Ares led them over the fractured edge, descending onto rocky ledges. The new gorge dropped perhaps 30 or 40 meters into the bowels of the earth. With each careful step, they advanced under a partial canopy of tangled vines and destroyed fauna, all of which had collapsed into the newly formed canyon. Sunlight flickered above, cutting through drifting particles of ash. These soils, tens of thousands of years old, Ares murmured, tapping a ridge of dark clay. See how the coloration changes? Ancient Amazonian horticulture. Terra preta, they call it. Quan lifted a handful of rich black earth. Yes, it was cultivated by distant humans, fertile beyond measure. No wonder so many thrived in this so-called jungle. As the men inched along the canyon floor, the rhythmic sounds of nature enveloped them. Birdsong mingled with the faint drip of water seeping through cracks. Then Ares froze, his eyes riveted on something impossible. a door etched into the rock wall, hidden by debris only recently displaced by the fault's formation. Etheros and Quan followed his line of sight, their hearts skipping a beat in unison. Indeed, a smooth geometric portal stood out amidst the raw, jagged stone, a testament to some ancient hand that carved it eons ago. In the jungle's quiet gloom, the three men stared. A silent wave of astonishment passed between them. All three had the same question: what is beyond the door?